Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are from the upcoming Cedar Rapids Opera production of The Nightingale. Zara Zemmels. Zara, welcome.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. Sophia Formella.
Yes, thank you.
And Simon Brea.
Yes, thank you.
Nice to have you all here. Now, I know you are freshly arrived in Cedar Rapids for the opera, which is coming up this weekend, the 22nd and the 23rd. Is this your first time in Cedar Rapids, Iowa?
No, actually, Zara and I were both in Cedar Rapids Opera production of Cinderella back in January.
Oh, okay.
So we got to experience all the super cold weather.
Oh yeah, that was our serious winter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really helpful for the voice.
Yeah. Sophia, where do you hail from?
I am from Texas, but I currently reside in New York City.
Zara, same question.
I am
Lean into the microphone
I
just
am
a
a
little bit.
New Orleans person.
Okay. All right. And Simon?
I was born and raised in New York, but I currently reside in Indiana for my master's at the Jacobs School.
Oh, sure. So Sophia and Zara were here in January for the other show.
Yes.
Were you?
I was not.
So,
no.
okay. So this is just your first time here?
This is my first time.
Well, welcome to Iowa.
Yeah, thank you.
The opera is called The Nightingale, and it's a new piece.
Yes.
Just premiered in 2023. Who wants to give me a little synopsis?
I play the collector, aka the perfect capitalist. She's wealthy and she's never satisfied. She basically has an addiction to collecting items. So obviously my main emotional support system is the curator, played by Simon, who assists me in collecting all of these items.
Who gets the stuff
Yes,
for you.
exactly.
And for those watching the video, you're even dressed in character. You know,
Oh,
you
yes.
kind of got the business suit look.
I brought a whole bunch of suits
Yeah.
so that we could have plenty to choose from. Got to be in character. Now, Sophia plays the Nightingale. And what sparks the action of this show is that I move from collecting items to wanting to collect the Nightingale. And the Nightingale is basically like a metaphor for artists, like me, the capitalist, commodifying the artist, treating her as an item. Ultimately, I attempt to replace her with a mechanical nightingale who will be more reliable and not have needs and not need housing. And the
Won't join a union.
Yes, exactly. So the curator ultimately leaves me. He's not satisfied with my ethics. He's not satisfied with capitalism. I'm left alone. And the opera ends with me understanding that there are forms of value outside of monetary and property value, and that artists, the feeling that you get from an artist cannot be gotten from a machine or AI.
I mentioned that this was a new production, but it's based on a Hans Christian Andersen.
Yes.
Are any of you familiar with the source material? Did you dig into that?
Yes. I watched an older movie as well on it, and it was really fun to see.
Yeah. Well, how was that? Was the framework of the story similar?
Yes.
Yeah?
I would say it stays pretty true to the original source work, for
The
sure.
main difference is that it's an emperor in ancient times rather than a modern capitalist.
Okay. But the theme of real art versus mechanical art, even hundreds of years ago, still something that people talked about.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, shockingly timely for what an old story we're working with.
Simon, tell me a little bit about the music and the part that you sing.
I know that my part especially has a lot of more free-flowing lines instead of being so tied to the rhythm and the meter. The music I would sing, I feel this is more or less about the music that I think in general. I think the music just encapsulates, especially like how English is supposed to be spoken, just really well. The inflection that the composer puts into the score is done so beautifully, and you can see it in so many ways, like in a comedic setting. Like the collector has a couple lines where you really feel the inflection sung in English with that, which I feel like in a lot of modern operas is not done too well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like I feel like overall the music is just it's very grand. I feel like, especially for an orchestra that's so small, the music feels grand, but you also get a small orchestra to get that intimacy with the characters as well, and you can really display that to the audience too.
That brings up an interesting point. As I've talked to opera singers about over the years about different productions, we've never really gotten too deep into the concept of, yes, we're singing this in English, but it was originally written in Italian. So
Right.
that, that does affect the music. So I suspect it feels more of a piece as a singer when you're singing in the language in which the music was composed for.
Yes, it always just feels much more natural to sing in the original language of the piece. Something else interesting about the music in this opera, so they both play humans, but obviously I play a bird, and then we also have a frog and a cow.
Like you do.
Right.
What a fabulous duet.
So she does a really, really cool job of incorporating animal-like sounds into each of our parts. So the frog has a lot of tritones, which are supposed to show the ribbit of a frog. And the cow obviously is a bass, so he has a very low voice, and his lines kind of scoop like a cow would move. And I'm lucky since I'm the bird, the nightingale. I have a lot of lyrical melodies like that emulate a bird sound. But yeah, that's something that's really cool about this opera, I think, as well.
Sounds like it's also be a great opera for people who maybe say they don't like opera.
Totally. And
or
it's
to
shorter.
take a child who you think if with the right source material they'll get into this, but I got to introduce it to them in a special way.
Yes.
It's very family friendly. It's
For sure.
very like bring people of all ages for sure.
Stylistically, is the music what we would kind of, when I think of operatic music, is that what it is? Or because it's more contemporary, does it bring in some other styles?
A lot of modern composers are really trying to challenge expectations and create like really unique, challenging auditory experiences. And the issue that we find with that is that that's not as accessible to an audience of people who have never been exposed to opera, who don't need those expectations subverted because they don't have them. So that's what's nice about this is it's so accessible. There's many moments that are just a lovely melody, just a lovely line that anyone could appreciate.
Something that you could walk away with something stuck in your head.
You might actually come away humming.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice. And it sounds like there's a lot of comedic moments in this too.
For sure, I would say. Especially with the animals. They get a lot of funny moments.
Yeah, and I'm unintentionally funny a lot. Like I say a lot of out of touch rich person things.
Oh, sure.
That, like I don't intend to be funny, but I do hope the audience laughs.
The opera is The Nightingale, and it's coming up on March 22nd and 23rd. You're doing a performance here on the Kirkwood campus at Ballantyne Auditorium, and then you'll be moving to the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. Two really great spaces if you aren't familiar with them.
I'm excited.
cropera.org is the website if you would like to get tickets or find out more information. Sounds like a really fun production. Welcome back to the two of you, and Simon, welcome to Iowa. Glad to have you all here, and good luck with it.
Thank you.
It's a
Thanks for
pleasure.
having us.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.